everybody. My name's Chrissy. Welcome to 30 Minutes of Positive Movement. I want to go ahead and explain sort of what my focus is with this class, just so you'll have an idea of what to expect. For me, positive movement is simply about bringing positive physical movement to your body, taking time to move your body in ways that are positive ways versus any sort of negative physical things that we bring to our body. That is where the positive part ends for me. If while you're moving through this, you're feeling a little sluggish today, or frustrated, or sad, or angry, or scared, that's okay. That's why we're here. We're here to release some of these emotions and thoughts that we're holding on to throughout all of this craziness that is going on. So don't feel like, oh, positive, so I have to be positive. I am not a fan of forcing yourself to be positive. I am a fan of you being able to take a moment and turn your attention inward and just look and see what's there, to release expectation of what should be there, to release any judgments that you're holding about yourself or your situation or your body, and just really look and observe and reflect on where your body actually is in this moment. And so that is what I mean by positive movement. So please feel like if you're moving through this practice, one of the days that you do it and you're just like, I'm just in a crappy mood, that's fine. That's okay. Brene Brown says that sometimes one of the most important things, then bravest things that you can do is to just show up. So that's all I'm asking you to do. That is the only positivity I'm asking for in this practice. Now, if you find that you're feeling hopeful and you're feeling joyful or excited or strong or flexible, that's great too. Don't dismiss positive emotions and feelings because you feel like you shouldn't be having them. So what I'm asking for is just for you to sit back, find your way to a neutral place, an observer's place, and simply just observe what happens when we bring positive physical movement to the body. So please take your time with these movements. Feel free to modify any way that you need to. Feel free to take breaks as often as you need to. And if you have any questions or any concerns, or you want to chat about the practice, please feel free to message me or leave a comment on here, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So to begin tonight, I just invite you to find a comfortable seat. So maybe for you, that's a crisscross applesauce sort of a situation here, like I'm sitting. Maybe you like to sit in a one-legged straddle or both legs out. Or maybe it's comfortable for you to sit on your knees. Whatever feels the best and most comfortable tonight. I invite you to gently push the top of the arm bones back so that your shoulders are in line with the rest of your body. We spend a lot of our day like this, right? So if we can even just take a few minutes to press the top of the arm bones back, line those shoulders up with the rest of the body, that can feel really nice. Your eyes can be opened or closed, whatever feels the safest and most comfortable for you. So we'll take just a few minutes to begin here with some breathing and some sort of slowing down of everything. So maybe sort of giving ourselves a chance to let go of whatever has been happening throughout our day and really be able to focus for the next 30 minutes on ourselves and our body and the present moment. And so I talked a little bit about releasing expectations, releasing judgment. And so I'll invite you to bring your awareness to the sensations that are around you in your space. So noticing and acknowledging any sounds that you hear. Maybe you hear the neighbors outside the window. Maybe you hear pets, significant others, your 6 beautiful children who try as hard as they cannot just, be silent, which you would want them to, right? Any smells, the temperature on the skin. I want you to notice and acknowledge each one of these sensations as you notice them in your space. And then do your best to be at peace, accept their presence in your space. Is your dog going to practice with you? That's fine. This is your space. You're a dog mom or dad or sister or aunt or brother. That's a part of your life. That's fine. Or maybe you have 7 other people in your house. You're going to hear them. That's okay. The more that we can release our expectations of what something should be like, the less of a stress it becomes for us, and it decreases some of our suffering. A lot of our suffering is tied to our expectations of how things should be. So give yourself a chance to release some of those expectations. You are in the perfect place to do yoga because you're doing yoga. 3 more breaths here, coming to peace with your space. And as you feel like you're comfortable with your space, I invite you to turn your awareness to inside the body. With everything that is going on, with our busy hustle and bustle of life, with the constant 24 hours of breaking news and the constant input that we receive, a lot of times we can disconnect from our body. We lose that connection or weakens. And so I invite you to spend a few breaths here reconnecting, revisiting your body. So starting at the crown of the head and slowly making your way down through the body, just noticing what's present. Are you noticing places that are tight or carrying tension? Are you noticing places that just feel worn down, tired today? Are you finding places of strength and flexibility or pockets of positive energy in the body? Whatever you find, any of those or anything in between, I invite you to acknowledge each one and then do your best to accept its presence in your body. Oh, they lasted about 8 minutes without yelling. That's pretty good. I'll take that. As you are noticing the sensations in the body, and as you are accepting their presence, I invite you to also notice any expectations that seem to pop up as you move through. Oh, this should feel this way. Oh, I shouldn't feel that way. We're not going to judge ourselves on those if we find them. Just notice them and maybe say, you know what? I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to accept where I am tonight. Again, releasing expectations, releasing suffering. And finally, as you're ready, let's bring our awareness to the breath. tonight I'll simply ask you to just observe your breath. Just watch it, experience your breath. Now, how do you do that? Right? You're literally just going to feel your breath or hear your breath. So if you are in a space where you can actually hear the inhale come in through the body and hear the exhale leave the body, feel free to focus on that. Focus on hearing the inhale come in and hearing the exhale leave. If you'd like to actually feel the breath, I invite you to really turn your awareness to the ribs and the mid to upper back here. And so as you're breathing in, feel those places in the body expand and grow wide. And as you exhale, feel them compress and release. I invite you to spend 5 breaths here, just watching the breath. So what does this do? Well, watching the breath, when we are paying attention to our breath, a lot of times it will slow. So it'll move back into a gentle, steady, deeper breath, which can help the body to relax. It helps to slow the heart rate. It helps to shut systems down in the body that may be on overdrive. It helps to maybe slow that wacky train of thought as it whizzes around the track in your mind. And it also helps us to stay locked in the present moment. Now our mind just wants to move on to the next thing. We're animals. Our mind is designed to keep us safe and keep us out of danger. And so it's your mind's job to be like, okay, what's next? What's happening while we're on this mat? What do I need to prepare for? And so we want to give the mind a break from that. And so we can gently thank the mind for working so hard for us, keeping us safe. And we can invite it back onto the mat, and we can give it a task like observing the breath. By observing the breath, the mind sort of takes a break from all of that work, and you get a chance to just be here in the present moment. So as you are ready, feel free to come back to that anytime. As we move through our short practice tonight, if you find that your mind has floated away, that's okay. Thank it. Bring it back, have it observe the breath, or any of the other observations that we're going to talk about as we move through. So to begin, we'll make our way to hands and knees. So this is tabletop pose. My wrists are underneath my shoulders. My knees are under my hips here. And we'll find some cat-cow. So as we inhale, we drop our belly towards the mat. Our gaze heads towards the sky as the tailbone heads towards the sky. And then as we breathe out, we'll make our way into cat pose. So now that tailbone's going to tuck into the body. We'll press the belly into the spine. Press the shoulders up, chin towards chest. So 5 rounds of this here. Trying to move as slowly as you can. This practice is all about observing, all about noticing. So as you're moving through, notice any physical sensations that come up in this pose. Oh, this, cracks my back, or I really feel this in my shoulders. And just taking a neutral commentary. Oh, I feel this in my shoulders. Oh, I can feel that in my back. Trying to avoid any judgment. Now, if your wrists are getting a little tired, you can come to fists. Place fists down on the mat. That can relieve some of the pressure in the wrist. So from here, we will press back into downward facing dog. So downward facing dog, my heels are reaching towards the mat. Now we just want to send the heels down, get heavy in the heels here. It doesn't matter if the heels reach the mat or not. What we're trying to do is to wake up those calf muscles. So if you're feeling this in your calf muscles, then you've got it. We are rotating the shoulders in towards the body. So really turning the shoulders here, pressing that tailbone up and back. So the head almost comes through the arms here. Take 3 breaths here, noticing where you feel this pose in the body. Let's bend the knees here. Walk the feet towards the hands and come to standing. So we will do a couple of rounds of a half sun salutation here. So a half sun salutation will bring some of that positive movement, matching movement with breath, and just give us a chance to move our body. So I invite you, if you're working at home or finding yourself sitting a lot during your day, maybe every hour and a half, stand up, do a couple half sun salutations. Just bring some movement to the body. And motion is lotion. So anytime we can bring some positive movement to the body can help us to feel a little better. Okay? So we'll bring our feet to hip width apart here. We don't want to lock the knees out. We want the legs straight, but we want to keep a little bend in the knees here. And we want to have a neutral pelvis. So we're going to talk about the pelvis for a few minutes. Get all your little giggles out. It's fine. Giggle on through it. It's totally okay. So your pelvis is like a cup. This is everybody's pelvis. It's not just women. Okay? So we want that cup to sit nice and even and neutral, because if it goes one way, it spills, and it goes the other way, it spills. Okay? So in order to find that here, we want to push the tailbone out towards the wall behind us. We want to pull our ribs up, and that will put our tailbone in that neutral position that we want. Let's press the top of the arm bones back again. And then I invite you to take your chin, gently press it towards your chest. Press the back of the neck back. This presses the head back in line with the spine. Because again, as go our shoulders, as goes our neck. So let's bring it back here. Bring our hands to heart center. Once we've pressed the neck back, we can let the chin go. And as you inhale, bringing the arms up overhead. As you exhale, bending the knees, pressing the hips back, folding forward. So as much of a bend in the knees here as you need. We really want to hang loose here. So allow your neck to hang loose, nod for yes, shake for no. Let the arms hang. And then as you breathe in, we'll come up halfway. So the spine comes up, we come to about a 90-degree angle here. Hands on thighs or on shins or on the mat if you like. Exhale, we'll forward fold once more. Remember, releasing. So we're releasing tension in that neck when we allow it to just hang loose. And then as we inhale, press the feet into the mat, bend the knees slightly, slowly roll up. Take your time. And as the chest comes up, the arms reach up here. Fingertips to the sky while the feet are grounding down. And then exhale. Back to heart center. So we'll move a little faster now that I've shown you the movements. Exhaling here. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold, press the hips back, bend the knees, release the neck. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Ground the feet, bend the knees. Inhale, come on up. The fingertips reach up. Exhale. Back to center. So let's do 2 of those on our own. I'll call out for the first one. I'll call the directions for the first one. And then that second one, try it on your own. See how you do. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, ground the feet, bend the knees. Up we go. And exhale. Back to heart center. All right, here we go. I hope that went well for you. Again, if you have any questions or concerns about that flow, that half sun salutation, please feel free to reach out. So for our next flow, we will come back to that downward facing dog. So we are here in our downward facing dog. As we inhale, we have a couple of options here, and I will show them to you as we move through. So as we inhale, we can drop our knees to the mat here. Bend the back. So your feet, you can bend the feet and sort of rest the balls of the feet on the mat, or you can rest the backs of the feet or the tops of the feet on the mat, either way. So here I'm in sort of a big cobra. So my feet are about hip width apart here. My hands are just under my shoulders. Really deep stretch in the spine. So this is a big cobra. So you can go from downward dog into this big cobra. If you need a little more here, you can come from downward facing dog. As you inhale, keep the legs up, upward facing dog. So whichever feels best to you. So again, we're using that breath, bringing that mind and body and breath back together. And so using flows like these can really help us to reconnect all of those systems together again. So let's make our way to downward facing dog. As you inhale, allow the body to come forward. You can drop the legs if you like. Upward dog, big cobra. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. 3 more rounds like this on your own. Once you've done those rounds, go ahead and drop the knees. Let's find a little child's pose. So for child's pose, knees can be together or they can be apart. I like to have my knees apart. That's just more comfortable for me. As we start to come forward, the tush can stay on the heels here and we can drop down this way, forehead to the mat. Or the tush can be elevated. The tush can be up in the air here, whichever feels best for you. The arms can be extended, or we can tuck the arms towards the feet. 3 more breaths here. As you're ready, slowly come up. 30 minutes goes really fast. Now I invite you to make your way to your back. We will find a Shavasana, a resting pose. So maybe for you, that looks like flat on the back. Maybe the feet are down, the knees are bent. Maybe this is comfortable. Maybe it's laying on your side. Maybe your legs are straight out and you're resting flat on your back. Whatever feels the most comfortable for you. The rest that we take is just as important as the work that we do on the mat. And so I invite you to take at least 3 minutes here to allow yourself to just rest. Wiggle your fingers and your toes and allow them to drop where they're comfortable. Allow the shoulders to drop away from the ears. Relax the forehead, the cheeks, and the jaw. Maybe doing a few circles. The jaw one way and then the other. There are no expectations here. No work to be done. No one wants or needs anything from you in the next few minutes. It is just you and your body and your breath on the mat. We'll rest here for just a few more minutes. You can stay here as long as you would like. You have been here from start to finish for 3 minutes, so feel free to wiggle your fingers and your toes and roll to one side. Make your way up to sitting. Maybe bringing the palms of the hands together, bringing the hands to heart center, bowing the head. And I whispered to my body, I want to be your friend. It took a long inhale and replied softly, I've been waiting my whole life for this. Thank you all so much. I hope that this practice brought you some benefits. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace to you, peace to me, peace to all living beings. And I invite you to continue to release expectations, release judgment, and offer yourself all the kindness, all the grace, and all the compassion as we move through these crazy and uncertain times. Namaste. Thank you all so much. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, any requests, please feel free to message me or leave something in the comments. And I hope to see you all soon. Bye-bye.